What's good? Yeah, I'm very thankful for the feedback I'm getting on my channel. Trying to load up consistently. I appreciate the honesty also when I get comments and people speak about their own lives and experiences. I find it very interesting. The last topic we had, the Cartman's drama triangle, that I will evolve in my channel as a kind of artistic freedom to the Cartman's trauma triangle within the Hall of Mirrors. That's what's coming up soon. And I find it interesting because the Cartman's drama triangle teaches us that there is no moral purity in life. So there is this dualistic worldview that we have in this world is just a man-made framework that simplifies things. So there is no good and bad. From a certain perspective, there is no good and bad. There is no right and wrong. And the dualistic worldview also extends to other parts of life. Yet there are different ways to see things, right? So when we say black and white, good or bad, right and wrong, all good, all bad, idealization and love and worship, adoration, complete devotion, or we say hate, war, or also, how is it called if you pretend something does not exist anymore? Pretense, like you repress it, like it's not there anymore, denial, complete denial. So this is splitting, this is dualistic, this is bipolar, but the real life is full of colors, it's not black and white. There is 7 colors in the rainbow, and we can make infinite nuances from the colors. So real life, not delusional life, the life we share, the reality, the individual is a fullness of life, and there is no moral purity, okay? And we see this in the Cartman's drama triangle, because when you say, the roles normally are chosen subconsciously. So you not choose the role, but the role chooses you, whatever. You have, as soon as you realize you are in one of the roles, or as soon as you are in one of the roles, you have all the other roles too. So when you say I'm a victim, you're as well a savior and you're as well an abuser, so to say. This is why there is no moral purity. Sorry, I had to manage the traffic a little bit, That was a little bit dangerous. Yes, life is dangerous, right? Being born is dangerous. Living is dangerous, all right? And painful. So, understanding that there is no moral purity, but a multitude of ways to see whatever behavior you have, whatever role you play. I'm telling you, as soon as you realize you are put into a role, you find yourself in a role, whether it's persecutor, victim, or savior, reject the role. Get out of we don't want to play roles or games. Okay, life is more than that. A role is always a simplification. Splitting is always a simplification. Dualistic worldview is always a simplification, and it is done to deceive us. When people want to make us believe we are one of the roles, we are all good or all bad. And this teaches you, even when people idealize you, especially when your behavior is not acceptable when you do something that is not good for you, that is self-destructive or destructive for others, and people idealize you for that, or even just accept it without giving you negative feedback, these are your enemies. Anyway, what I want to say is, I appreciate your feedback, your honesty, and I also don't want to make you believe that there is good people and all good people in this world and all bad people in this world. I'm saying this because it could be that a sociopath reacts to my videos and opens up honestly about mimicking. And it's the truth that everybody is mimicking. Like children learn through mimicking. We learn the most things through mimicking. Or a sociopath says, all right, well, I don't have or I don't feel. And I don't even want to make this splitting or diagnose other people. I can't do this. This is for clinicians. And the purpose of a diagnosis is to help the person, because when you diagnose a person, the person wants to be diagnosed. It has to collaborate. It's not a hostile act of trying to ostracize people. No. So I'm not trying to polarize the views of people, and I'm not trying to make you believe that there is good people and bad people. That's what we learn from the Cartman's trauma triangle, okay? So I'm thankful for everybody who reacts to my content. I'm thankful for the discussion, and I also want to tell you that no one is all good or all bad. We have to see all the contexts. We have to see that ultimately we all human beings. Sam Wagnin says he thinks that narcissists don't qualify as humans, and I see that point. I mean, he means fully fledged, diagnosed clinical, not subclinical narcissists. Yeah. So I see that point. Dude, what am I doing? I don't have to work on Monday. Isn't that nice? And I'm coming because I think I have to work Mondays. So I just got gifted a free day, so now I can chill. I don't have to work today. That's great, right? That's cool. So let me just chill. All right. Yeah, I want to tell you that everybody is a human being, and if people have a clinical condition, if they are part of the dark pentagram personalities, or if not, in reality there are no real boundaries, there are no real categories of human beings. We have this problem or this gift that nobody has ever looked into the head of another person. This is also why psychology is in some way a pseudoscience, because neurology is a science. Psychology, clinical psychology, psychotherapy is a pseudoscience because we create models. And these models are accepted if they work or if they describe the phenomenon that we observe in a useful way. And if somebody invents a better model and it proves to just work perfectly, then it's being accepted. What I want to say is we're not observing facts. We observe human beings, and we create frameworks, we create clinical criteria to separate one from the others. And this is necessary, and this works, but it does not mean that we have different types of human beings, Yeah. And we have to understand that also moral is never really pure. So if you are in the role of a victim, you're also in the role of the persecutor and the savior at the same time. Um, you know, it can be that as a victim, you encourage the persecutor to persecute you, you enable him because you don't reject the role of a victim. But this is the difference between the healthy role of a victim that is victimized and as soon as it realizes this, rejects the role. The pathological way to be a victim is victimhood, which means you accept and even perpetuate the role of a victim. You cultivate the victim mentality as a survival strategy, um, and thus you literally looking for a persecutor in order to be a victim and extract supply to, and you might even bind a savior to you. So, and this is the Cartman's trauma triangle that I'm gonna explain to you, because let's say you have a covert narcissist borderline personality that is living as a professional victim, as a person that adopts victimhood. This person will need a savior and a persecutor. And this means these people coerce other people in their roles because they force themselves in the role. And then they have the internal version for only the people, for only the three people who are involved in the triangle. But there will be, but within the triangle, the roles will be switched. So the victim will be the persecutor towards the real persecutor, and it's very twisted, but I will I will simplify this or clarify this for you in my upcoming video so that you see how twisted the roles can be and how each one can be also the other roles as well at the same time. And yeah, I will make it in a way that you can understand it. And an easy way to tell you right now how moral purity is not ever given is that, let's say there is a victim, whether a real victim or a fake victim, doesn't matter, and there is a savior, real savior or fake savior, does not matter now. It's just a victim and a savior. Of course, there's a persecutor, otherwise there wouldn't be a victim. So we have the triangle, and the savior actually increases the suffering of the victim because the victim is robbed, the victim is stripped from the opportunity to find its own strength, its own way, its own identity. So a crisis, a problem, pain is there to make a person individuate, to learn to stand on their own feet, to speak up, to parent itself, to be a maternal and also a father figure for him or herself, and get on in individuation, become who you are, Nietzsche would say, all right? And a savior, a person that overtakes this role, that parents the other person in need, stops this person from individuating, and this way creates an eternal victim. And the savior at the same time is distracted from his or her own problems. So these are the helper people that have given up on their own life. So their own life is non-existent, yet they try to help everybody because they need to. It's a compulsive behavior. And this way we see that the savior is not good necessarily, and the victim is not a person that has a moral high ground over all the others. That's not true. That is something that can be abused. Yet, There are true victims, there are true saviors, and there are true persecutors. And this is what will come in my upcoming video. Yet, again, I hope we can imply this understanding in the way we communicate in my channel, in the channel that we share. I just see a magpie here, another one coming, and I believe a third one coming. That's crazy, because I believe in the collective unconsciousness, and that emergent things are signs of the collective unconsciousness. So the magpie is a bird that I don't exactly like, yet it has to mean something, right? And they are black and white, and they have a certain chatty behavior, and they gang stalk. I don't like these birds. But anyway, I hope we can use this understanding of complexity of moral and try to understand each other better, no matter from which side we come. Also, the magic connection between empath and, I made a video about empath and psychopath, or I mean, with bright personalities and dark personalities, there is this magic connection because they somehow need each other, especially the dark personalities need the bright personalities. But the bright personalities probably also need the dark personalities to even realize who they are and what they are. And I made a video where I claim that under similar conditions of childhood trauma, very bright personalities and very dark personalities can emerge. In other words, empath and narcissists can emerge. And when I say narcissist, I mean psychopath. And when I say psychopath, I mean borderline. And when I say borderline, I mean Machiavellian. Doesn't really matter. I'm not here to explain the details, or I'm not a clinician, okay? I'm just here to try to understand the world of social life, of personal experience better. And I don't want to create a delusion. I want to research here with you and communicate with you. So yeah, we're gonna push on. We're gonna push on this journey.